Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Venom: License to Kill, a 3-issue miniseries written by Larry Hama. So this is the first time we actually have a Agent Venom that precedes the Flash Thompson version of Venom that came many years after this one. It's going to be a short-lived era for Eddie Brock. It's going to last 2 miniseries and a one-shot. But this first miniseries, it's pretty off the wall. It's super 90s. For good and for bad, because you have a lot of action and spectacle, but the plot is not the best. There's a lot of stuff that happens here that makes zero sense. So the series actually starts off with Venom. He's on his first mission, and things go south pretty fast. He wastes no time in using lethal force. He's pretty reckless in the way he carries himself during the whole mission, putting in danger a ton of innocent lives. It's really interesting to see Venom from this era being super violent, like he's ripping people's heads off. It's never on panel, but it is implied. So what happens is we have the government really freaking out because Venom is part of this Black Ops organization, really high up in the US government, tied to zero tolerance. So what Venom's handlers decide to do to keep him in line is that they actually implant a thermite bomb into his chest. So if he doesn't follow orders or he goes AWOL, they just incinerate him from the inside out. So now Eddie gets his next mission and he has to take down this mad scientist that it's not clear if we're dealing with a Russian mad scientist or a Ukrainian mad scientist. It's never really explained. I guess he's Ukrainian because his base of operations is actually called New Odessa. The guy is completely obsessed with the fall of the Soviet Union. He actually has a bunch of LMDs, life model decoys that repeat Marxist slogans all the time. They just don't shut up. It's so weird, but in a good way, because it gives this really surreal feeling to this whole story. So the thing is that he has created this biological weapon and he's holding the world at ransom. So the US government has just decided to pay him off. Like, they don't want to deal with any type of biological attack, and they have decided to send Venom to do this. What can go wrong? And on his way to take this money to this mad scientist, Venom crosses paths with this gang war that just happens out of nowhere. I guess Marvel Editorial saw this story and said, we need more action, and we got this random battle that just happens out of nowhere. So now we have Venom ripping off the heads of many gangsters. Then he's back on the mission. So then Eddie Brock is at the rendezvous point, and obviously things go wrong. And he ends up getting kidnapped by these life model decoys that I had mentioned earlier. And the thing is that he ends up on this base, New Odessa. It's under the ocean. I forgot to mention the mad scientist's name. His name is Sergei Yasinovsky. They call him Dr. Yes. So Eddie ends up encountering Dr. Yes, and we get this really weird and convoluted villain monologue where we discover that Dr. Yes's son had been infected by one of the viruses that he had been working on, and that he had to create this gigantic containment suit to keep his son alive. And that's why he's menacing all the governments of the world that he's going to do these biological attacks so they can pay him off to keep his son alive and basically keep the lights on in New Odessa. And later on in the story, his son is going to get like this body armor upgrade that he's going to look like the new Crimson Dynamo, all decked out in Soviet. But the thing is that obviously the shit is going to hit the fan with Venom. He's going to start destroying the place, and he's going to wreck all the LMDs and battle against this Crimson Dynamo. Dr. Yes decides to launch a biological weapons attack, and the US government decides to drop a nuclear bomb on the place at the same time. But Dr. Yes's son decides to grab both bombs, and he goes deep into a sea trench and sacrifice himself. So Dr. Yes's son has died. Venom has destroyed New Odessa. The story sets up at the end that Dr. Yes is going to be the new arch nemesis to Venom, but this never happens. We never see him again.